The Ultimate line from Marvel returned earlier this year as a way to kick off a new universe, but also connect the 616 in a way. So, before we get into why I believe this is a very smart move by Marvel, and why it's such a great success, I want to give a little history on the original Ultimate Universe. See, in the very early 2000s, Marvel took a gamble and created an Ultimate Universe line in which their flagship characters felt newer, fresher, and in a lot of ways edgier. A huge successful title like Ultimate Spider-Man, which to many is one of the greatest, if not the best run of all time on the hero, myself included. This run was written by Bendis and highlighted by Bagley's great art as well. But not only was Spider-Man successful, but the Ultimate X-Men line sold like hotcakes, with superstar Mark Millar on the case. And if that wasn't all, they brought the Avengers in an event-like comic title called The Ultimates, in which the heroes had to band together, much edgier than ever before, but also entertaining. And this was written by Mark Millar as well and Brian Hitch, which were some of the two biggest stars in the early 2000s. But if you want a deeper look into why the original Ultimate Universe worked so well and then fell, you can go check out my videos Rise and Fall. But I want to talk about why the 2024 Ultimate Universe has kicked off things in such an exciting and fun way. So last year we had the Ultimate Invasion, which was the event that kind of built up this new Ultimate Universe. You had the maker go to a new universe and pick and choose how he wanted certain characters to happen or not happen. Basically playing God himself, and things like removing the spider so it never bit Peter, to getting the Hulk as one of his henchmen, and so much more. He formed the universe to his liking. The maker, if you haven't read the original Ultimate Universe, is Reed Richards, basically gone Breaking Bad, and is an evil son of a bitch. Now that's really all that you have to know about the past universe. Ultimate Spider-Man opens up with Peter Parker much older, a husband, and a father of two. He has no powers and he's just a reporter for the Daily Bugle. But his whole life he feels like something is missing. Not only that, but his Uncle Ben is alive and his Aunt May has passed away. And he also was never friends with someone like Harry Osborn as a kid. But as soon as a certain somebody comes from the future and gives him a chance to grasp his destiny to become the hero we all know and love, he is born again as Spider-Man. But this is a much older Spider-Man, so him having to learn to be a hero while being a husband and a dad, let me just tell you something, as someone who's both of those things and a full-time job, your time is fucking limited. So this is hard work, but Peter is putting it double time in, so it's just wonderful to see how that little thing changes the character so much. So before I get into why it works so well, let me talk about the other three Ultimate comics that are out at the time of this video. We have Ultimate Black Panther, Ultimate X-Men, and The Ultimates. So Black Panther is basically T'Challa trying to figure out how to keep his kingdom going. At the same time, these Moon Knight-like people are starting to come and invade his kingdom. It's a great way to reintroduce Wakanda in a more modern way, while also giving characters like Black Panther, Moon Knight, Storm, and even Killmonger a more revamped origin and story. It's just a really interesting way to do it. Then we also have the Ultimate X-Men line, which is a wildly different take than any mainline X-Men title I have ever read. It's a body-like horror comic, but it also looks very much like a manga. And the main character, Armor, is an awesome mutant who begins to band together with other mutants at her school and town while dealing with past trauma. So it's like a regular X-Men story in a lot of ways, but it's a nice spicy twist to make it different because there's no major X-Men character in this, at least not yet in the first 5 issues. And last, but certainly not least, is the Ultimates. These have the familiar faces of Captain America, Iron Man, Doom, and Thor. And this team is actually labeled in a world as terrorists, trying to disrupt the peace, disrupt the way of order. But really, they're trying to fix things and everything that's gone wrong. It's really great to see Cap, who comes back from the ice to see that America is no longer America. Alright, so now that you know the 4 titles and what they're kind of about, let me tell you why it's working so well. Ultimate Spider-Man gives you a much older viewpoint this time. You have a father who's trying his best to balance things. A lot of comic fans my age who got into comics are now in their mid-30s or 40s and have kids, a wife, a job, and now they can see themselves in this world where Peter has to juggle all of that. And what works so well with this is everyone has wanted Peter to have a family for so long. But not just that, this is written so damn well on top of having amazing art. So all of those combined really make this special so far. And while this run is doing its thing, we have the regular 616 run keeping Peter Parker basically a mid-20s fuck up and having Miles do the teenage adventures of Spider-Man. So Ultimate Spider-Man is this new, fresh take of a much older Peter kind of just living his, I think he's in his late 30s, maybe 40s life, trying to deal with being a new superhero. So now I want to move real fast to the Ultimate X-Men line, which we have a way different team than I've ever saw before. Most times a team like this would be labeled something like the New Mutant or even the New X-Men or some type of name that's given, different than the official X-Men title. And it's really unlike any X-Men team I've really ever read before, but it has so much charm and unique look to it, and it really fits in with the manga kind of craze that's going on right now in America especially. You got a younger cast, they're teenagers, and like anime, people can see themselves reading this because it has minimal dialogue for the most part, just mostly back and forth, very little full-on heavy exposition or anything that most modern comics do inject here or there. So it has this manga feel, a younger cast. And I gotta say, the one thing I really love that stands out about this series is the body horror. It makes it feel like a horror title at times. So that's very different than the other 3 titles that we have on this list. So Black Panther has this very war-like mentality going around in this story, and overall this world building is helping it keep it fresh and exciting. And while I have to be honest, this is probably the weakest title of the 4 for me, it still intrigues me to see where we're going with this Black Panther and his world and his country and all these people kind of plotting against him. So all of that's interesting. I just think I have to wait till it's finished to really enjoy the story as a whole. And the second best title in the entire line so far is The Ultimate, giving us a team of the heroes just trying to be, well, fucking heroes in a world who wants to kick them down and treat them like shit. But I also love that Cap is still himself, even in this universe, trying to show what America could be instead of what it has become. Tony is also much younger here, as his father was Iron Man before him, and upon his death, Tony has taken the title of Iron Lad. And Thor is, well, Thor's kind of just who he is. And this is a team going around to help and stop villains, and I really just enjoy the feel of this, because this feels the most adult in a way of all the titles so far, but it also feels like a bigger scale than all the other titles going on. So yeah, the Ultimates is working really well for me. It could stand along some of the best Avengers titles I've read probably ever. So the overall feel of this universe isn't only fresh, but it's also exciting. Each title will provide something for someone. And what I love about that is when I'm seeing the comments online from different people once they read these issues, there always seems to be different titles that they love. And while I personally think Ultimate Spider-Man is the best one and one of the best comics, if not the best of 2024, I can see any of these titles being interesting to someone and being some of their favorite titles. That's what makes them unique. They all feel different enough, but they all also feel like they're part of this brand new Ultimate Universe, which is really fun and exciting to see. So, your question is, should I check out this Ultimate Universe? Well, we've got about 9 months into the year now, and I would say very much yes. I'll be reading all of these by the end of the year, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to go into 2025 reading these as well. I'm very excited to see how all of these connect, but I also hope that we still stay in their own title or lane, so we just get some great storytelling again, having these universes be fun and exciting, but I want the titles themselves to be self-contained because they're doing such a good job so far. So I hope we continue that. But for my opinion, I think you should check this out. Whether you read the old Ultimate Universe or you didn't, really the only thing you have to know is the maker has done some fucked up shit. Maybe read Ultimate Invasion to catch that up. It's a 4-part mini. But other than that, you could just jump into this universe. It has very little to do with the 616. It feels fresh, it feels exciting, and I can't wait to read more. I can't wait for more titles to be announced for this universe, and I'm really hoping 2025 treats this universe as good as it did in 2024. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, hit a like. If you love it, hit the subscribe, and let me know below what your favorite title of this line is. Have you checked them all out? Have you checked one? Have you checked none? Let me know in the comments below, and I hope you guys enjoyed. Have a good day.